The year is 2025. The political landscape feels eerily familiar. Donald Trump back in the Oval Office has made it clear, deportations are back on the menu. And this time he's got a particular appetite for targeting specific nationalities. Among them, Jamaicans. It's a prospect that has sent chills down the spines of many, conjuring up images of families torn apart and lives uprooted. But why Jamaicans? What's behind this laser focus? Let's unpack this, shall we? But before we continue, click the like button and help us grow this educational channel. Thank you. This laser focus of this administration isn't just about immigration, it's about singling out a community. It's about creating a climate of fear and uncertainty. It's about using people as pawns in a political game. And frankly, it's about bloody time someone called him out on it. To understand Trump's current stance on deportations, we need to take a trip down memory lane, back to the bad old days of his first administration. Remember the Muslim ban? The family separations at the border, the relentless attacks on DACA? Yeah, those were the good old days. Not. Trump's first term was a masterclass in using immigration as a wedge issue. He demonized immigrants, painted them as criminals and a drain on society. He stoked the flames of fear and xenophobia. And for what? To appeal to his base? To distract from his own scandals? Who knows with this guy? The point is, his past actions are a chilling prologue to what we're seeing now. Now you might be asking yourself, why Jamaicans? It's a valid question, and one that deserves a thorough exploration. Well, Trump hasn't exactly been forthcoming with his reasoning. His statements are often vague, leaving much to interpretation. But if we look at his past rhetoric and the whispers coming out of the White House, a few things become clear. It's almost like piecing together a puzzle, where each piece is a clue to his true intentions. First, there's the whole criminals and bad hombres narrative that Trump loves to trot out. This isn't new, it's a recurring theme in his speeches and tweets. He's repeatedly claimed that immigrants are responsible for a surge in crime. This narrative is designed to stoke fear and justify harsh immigration policies. Never mind the fact that studies have repeatedly debunked this myth. Research consistently shows that immigrants are less likely to commit crimes than native-born citizens. Facts don't really matter in Trump's world. What matters is the narrative he can sell to his base. Perception is reality, and he wants you to perceive immigrants, especially those from certain countries, as dangerous. This perception fuels his political agenda and rallies his supporters. Second, there's the issue of undocumented immigrants. This is a hot-button topic that Trump has used to galvanize his base. Trump has made it clear that he wants to deport anyone who's in the country illegally, regardless of how long they've been here or what their ties to the community are. His administration has taken a hardline stance on this issue. And look, I get it, laws are laws. But there's a difference between enforcing laws and using them as a tool for cruelty. But we're not talking about shoplifting here. We're talking about people's lives, their dreams, and their futures. We're talking about people who have built lives, families, and businesses in this country. These are individuals who have contributed to the fabric of our society in meaningful ways. People who contribute to our society in countless ways. They are our neighbors, our friends, and our colleagues. Tossing them out like yesterday's garbage just because of a bureaucratic technicality? It's not just unfair, it's inhumane. That's not justice, that's just plain cruel. We need to ask ourselves what kind of country we want to be. One that values human dignity, or one that turns a blind eye to suffering? The impact of Trump's deportation policies on the Jamaican community has been nothing short of devastating. Imagine living with the constant fear that you or your loved ones could be rounded up and deported at any moment. The uncertainty, the anxiety, the feeling of being hunted. This is the reality for countless Jamaicans living in the US today. They're afraid to leave their homes, afraid to speak their language, afraid to even go to the grocery store for fear of being stopped and questioned. It's a climate of fear that has had a chilling effect on the entire community. Justice delayed, justice denied, legal and human rights concerns. The phrase, justice delayed is justice denied, has never been more relevant than in the context of immigration policies. The legal and human rights concerns surrounding these policies are vast and complex. Trump's swift deportations raise a whole host of legal and human rights concerns. These concerns are not just theoretical, they have real, tangible impacts on the lives of thousands of individuals and families. For starters, there's the issue of due process. Due process is a fundamental principle of justice that ensures fair treatment through the normal judicial system, especially as a citizen's entitlement. Everyone, regardless of their immigration status, has the right to a fair hearing before being deported. This right is enshrined in both national and international law, yet it is often overlooked or outright ignored. But under Trump's policies, many immigrants are being rushed through the system without adequate legal representation or a chance to present their case. This lack of representation can lead to devastating consequences, including wrongful deportations and family separations. Then there's the issue of family separation. This policy has torn apart countless families, leaving children traumatized and parents desperate. We saw the horrors of this policy play out during Trump's first term. Images of children in cages and heartbroken parents flooded the media, sparking outrage and condemnation from around the world. And there's every reason to believe it could happen again. The administration's stance on immigration has not softened, and the infrastructure for such policies remains in place. Ripping families apart is not only inhumane, it's also a violation of international law. International human rights organizations have repeatedly condemned these actions, calling for immediate reforms. But hey, who needs international law when you've got "Make America Great Again" hats, right? The administration's focus on nationalist rhetoric often overshadows the very real human suffering caused by these policies. And let's not forget about the strain this is putting on U.S.-Jamaica relations. Jamaica, like many other countries, is deeply concerned about the treatment of its citizens abroad. Jamaica, a key ally in the Caribbean, has repeatedly expressed concerns about the treatment of its citizens in the U.S. But will Trump listen? Don't hold your breath. The administration's track record suggests that these concerns will continue to be ignored, further straining international relations and undermining the U.S.'s standing in the global community. A nation divided, public and political responses. As with most things Trump, his deportation plans have been met with a mixed bag of reactions. His supporters, those who cheer for every wall built and every family torn apart, are thrilled. They see it as a long overdue crackdown on illegal immigration. Opponents, on the other hand, are horrified. They see it as a cruel and discriminatory attack on immigrant communities. They argue that it's tearing families apart, harming the economy and undermining America's values. And you know what? They're right. But good luck getting through to the MAGA crowd. They're too busy owning the libs to care about basic human decency. The virus of misinformation, fueling the fire. One of the most disturbing aspects of this whole debate is the role that misinformation is playing. Trump and his allies have been masters at spreading lies and half-truths about immigrants. They've painted them as criminals, welfare abusers, and job stealers, and sadly, these lies have taken root in some corners of the internet and the media. This misinformation has real-world consequences. It fuels prejudice, discrimination, and even violence against immigrants. It creates a climate of fear and suspicion, and it makes it that much harder to have a rational conversation about immigration. The backbone of America's economic contributions of immigrants. Lost in all this talk of deportations and border walls is a simple but often overlooked fact. Immigrants are good for America. They contribute to our economy, our culture, and our communities in countless ways. They start businesses, create jobs, and pay taxes. They fill labor shortages in key industries. They bring new ideas and perspectives, and they make our country a more vibrant and diverse place to live. To pretend otherwise is not only ignorant, it's economically idiotic. A call to action towards a more just and informed future. This is a pivotal moment in our history, a time when we must come together to create a society that values justice and truth. So, what can we do? How can we, as individuals and as a community, make a difference in the face of these challenges? How do we fight back against these harmful policies and the misinformation that fuels them? The answer lies in our collective action and unwavering commitment to the truth. Well, for starters, we need to stay informed. Knowledge is power, and staying updated with accurate information is crucial. We need to educate ourselves and others about the facts surrounding immigration. This means attending workshops, reading credible sources, and engaging in meaningful discussions. We need to call out lies and distortions whenever we see them. Whether it's on social media, in the news, or in everyday conversations, we must challenge falsehoods. And we need to support organizations that are working to protect the rights of immigrants. These groups are on the front lines, providing essential services and advocating for policy changes. But most importantly, we need to remember our shared humanity. Immigrants are not statistics, they're not criminals, they are our neighbors, our friends, and our family members. They're not problems to be solved, they are individuals with dreams, hopes, and aspirations just like us. They're human beings just like us. They deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. They deserve our compassion, our respect, and our support. We must stand in solidarity with them, offering our help and understanding. And we will not rest until they have it. Together, we can build a future that is just, informed, and inclusive for all. If you find this video valuable, go ahead and subscribe and share out this video so we can grow a community that cares about each other. Thank you.